Welcome, mentees, to a conversation with the mentors. Today's guest is Morris, and we're going to be talking about health concerns.
So before we get too far into that, let's give you a little background about Mr. Morris Singletary. Morris Singletary is a personal friend of mine who I grew up with. I had to be about 6, 5, 6,
maybe
7?
5 or 6. Let's go for 5 or 6 because we got his story.
Yeah,
we got stories. We got his story. We got my story. We got the truth.
Everything in between.
Right. Like so. Yeah, this is over 30 plus years of friendship.
Wow.
30 plus years of love and trusting and experiences.
Beautiful.
Child, I can tell y'all some things about him back in high school and
Ooh.
stuff, but I won't though.
That's another
because
podcast.
That's what we're not talking about. That
We're
now.
not talking about that.
that'll be after filming.
Although I feel like I'm in high school and this is like Mean Girls because you guys were pink on recording days, right? That's so fetch.
It wasn't planned, we swear.
It wasn't planned.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So this is what I grew up with.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm gonna tell y'all, Morris was not like this growing up. It was quite the vice versa.
Really?
Or actually quite well, now
Yeah.
we might be.
My explosive added personality is what his explosive personality still is, clearly. But like we'd be in choir rehearsal and it wasn't lit until LP got there.
Okay.
So listen, I'm gonna give y'all nicknames.
LP.
When LP got there,
The party started.
the party
huh?
started.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I owe a lot of great things, introductions, if you will, to my good friend LP.
Okay.
So we here to talk about some health.
Yeah, that's what we're here to
We're
talk
here
about.
to talk about health.
Health.
November
Yeah.
was Feel Your Junk Month, right? Anybody
Okay.
ever referred to that? So in November, you're supposed to grow your beard out.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No
actually
Shave November.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So we have No Shave November actually to promote awareness for cancer,
Yeah.
Okay.
particularly prostate cancer. Am I right? Yeah, okay. All right. I just
You gotta protect the
Feel your
penis in
junk.
November.
Yeah.
feel your junk.
Oh,
your
feel.
Right, right.
I thought you said fill.
That's what I thought so too.
Oh.
Feel your junk, yeah. You're promoting doing your own at-home testing.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
similar
Feel
to
your
the
junk.
boobies when women test their boobies.
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was about to go there. So I have a friend who's a breast cancer survivor, and she educated me and said that men can actually get
Absolutely.
breast cancer.
My grandfather
as
passed
well.
away from it. He was
Oh,
one of
no,
10%
sorry.
of men who had that.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
so
Yeah.
she was encouraging not only women but men to
I think
feel.
Montel had that too.
Montel?
Until
Montel Jordan?
Yeah. I think
Throwback.
So.
That's how we do it.
Is that how you do it?
I mean,
They
that's how I do it.
Okay. So
Wait, no, so like,
if
can
the
you give a
table
demonstration
starts
on
to-
how you should check your breast for real?
What? So
Because I would assume a lump is very obvious.
I would assume so too.
I would think so
So I
as
know
well.
with females, they lift the breast and then they palpate. They're using the big medical terms, right?
Okay.
They palpate around, and then they press the top and press down. So I guess we would feel the same way. But I'm pretty sure most men will.
Let me take that back.
that way.
If you have some double C's,
Which a lot of men do now.
they do.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you like this:
I feel attacked.
log on to Google.
I know I'm getting ready to
and,
put on my
and
cross
ask the
bra.
question. Ask Jeeves or ask Siri.
All right, Siri.
Somebody, how do you check your breast? We just promoting awareness. Men can get breast cancer as well.
Absolutely.
So with us rolling out in November, I wanted to put that out there. Now I'm gonna go into something that is a little bit what's the word? It's kind of near and dear to my heart. Mental health. Mental health, especially as a LGBTQIA plus black man who just got a black vice president in the
Yeah.
office.
Hello.
Wait a minute.
Shout
Hey,
out to
let's not forget about
Kamala.
that. But with that being said, I was an active duty military member, and I currently suffer from depression
Okay.
and PTSD, anxiety, which is all combined into that mental health or mental disorder realm
Yeah.
or circle.
Yeah.
So mental health, it is important.
Very important.
I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize or recognize is that PTSD is not for only members of the armed services.
They're not. It's not.
You can get PTSD from being in a bad car accident,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and then every time you get in that situation,
Or being robbed or
being robbed,
right.
right? PTSD is a huge factor that many people don't look into.
They don't.
True.
And sometimes people get anxiety mixed with the depression, even, and those two are really totally different things.
Yeah.
Completely.
I'm 43 years old. I'll be 44 in a couple of minutes next year sometime. But I just started seeing a therapist. I just started.
So we talked about why it's important is see a therapist and why you probably at 43, finna be 44. Why would you say you just started seeing a therapist?
So first of all, let me give you from the lens that I sit. I'm a black gay man. I'm a church queen, if you depending on what circle you're in, right? And so when you put all of those things together, being black, being gay, being in church, oh yeah, I got HIV as well. Those things like beat up on me, and the consummate black man does not cry. The consummate black man does not go to the doctor.
Exactly.
One of the things that we'll talk about a little later in this show, hopefully, is when people don't know how to be a patient. And so how do you know to go look for what you don't recognize? And so I finally decided to get a therapist because someone said this following
Certainly
thing.
don't go to therapists.
Because you're crazy.
That's
And
the devil in
and
my
like,
house.
you going to sit on somebody's couch? No, ma'am. Right?
And pay them?
So it went from, you don't only have a therapist when something is wrong, but when something is right. That's what made me get a therapist.
That's
because
deep.
some really amazing things have happened in the last 2 years. And I don't have anybody to share with. I'm single. I am single. And so, I don't have the outlet of a husband or, I have friends. Don't get it twisted. I have great friends. I have a wonderful support system. But sometimes it's good to sit in a bed with your partner and just be like, hey, babe, I just met Beyonce. Oh, my God.
Oh, by the way, he just put that in there. He met Beyonce last year.
Last year. At the
Did you
Grammy
really?
Awards.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
met
was
Beyonce
here in LA.
Listen, I'm sure you didn't just tell him when it was the end of the day and you guys were in bed. I'm sure you called
Hold
him.
on, but I don't have a him. That's the whole
Oh, okay,
thing.
gotcha.
And
Oh,
so
you're saying you want to. You want
right,
to.
part of having therapy is to celebrate some of the great things in life. Like we always we connect therapists with something that's wrong, and that's problem number one.
That's it.
That's problem number one. If we got the wherewithal to say, hey, I want to celebrate with somebody, and somebody celebrates you in authenticity. I think that's the word I want to say.
That's the word.
Your therapist is right there. Like my therapist is off the chain. Like she sent me job offers and stuff. Like she been saying, hey, you know what? I think that you qualify for this. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's safe to say though, and I think it should be said that you need to find the right therapist,
Yes,
because
that's true.
I started
It's like a
seeking
shoe.
therapy a few years back. Still have not connected with a therapist, and I don't know if therapy is for me, just because it's the subtle things like them looking at the clock, or them just not feeling that connection, feeling that they're there to do a job and they're not really invested in you. It sometimes just makes me not be able to
Overwhelming.
I just can't connect, and I don't feel like what you're saying back to me is genuine. I feel like it's very like I'm just here to do a job, which they are.
True.
But therapy is a line where it's like I want you to relate to me and connect with me, and not just be so procedural. So yeah, I think it's just important to make sure that you're finding the right therapist, because I think if you do, then it can be super effective.
So your therapist now, and you may or may not have anything to do with it. Is it female or male?
So disclaimer, I just dropped my therapist. That's the latest
You're
one.
fired.
But when I started my journey, I decided to go with one that was neutral. And then I asked her, what is your belief? What's your religion? And she said, that's none of your business. That's not what we're here for. I was like, cool, peace. So then I had another therapist, another female. I couldn't ask for a gay therapist because they said that they don't do that they don't have to disclose their sexuality. Yeah. So then they gave me a therapist that was handicapped. It was a handicapped lady. Super great. Gave me a lot of nuggets. Didn't work out. And then I started seeing a gay therapist.
Oh, is that millennial talk gave you a lot of nuggets? Because when you said that, I was thinking about Wendy's nuggets.
I don't know if nuggets is a
Nuggets
millennial
are
word, but I do agree with you that spicy nugget did hit just now. Okay.
No, nuggets just means they give you little gems, little kind of things that you can.
That, like what you're talking about. Go ahead.
He was right though, because he took the words out of my mouth. But yeah, they're just things that takeaways. Maybe to that she gave me a lot of great takeaways. But
and I am 66, and I have never seen a therapist. And I have been through some things.
Yeah.
But coming from spiritual background, I taught myself and I learned to go within. So I learned the mechanisms, how to go within myself and be my own confidant. Yeah.
Can I challenge you on that?
You sure can.
As I said, I've been in church. That's where we met.
Dun, dun, dun.
Our entire life, right? and being in church, yes, they tell us, we do have a higher power where we can go to and confide and do that in, right? But God also created therapy. And he mentions in the Bible, confess your sins one to another, right? Ooh. And it's not that your sins that you're confessing, but we overcome our battles by sharing each other's testimony as well, right? And I say that to say this. Therapists come from therapy, and therapy makes a plan for your betterment. And I think that we don't look at the plan overall, right, which makes a difference with therapy.
Well, I do have to say this. I'm a licensed minister, but no longer practicing because I have a total different view on religion, period.
Gotcha.
So I'm more of a spiritualist. I go within energy and information, and that we all vibrate on a different frequency. So I've learned to raise my frequencies when necessary. And when they get low, I find out the elements that make them get low. Okay. And like you said, by going through different things, it lowers your vibration. And even now, with even going through this 2020 election and everything, and COVID lowered people's vibrations. And that's why a lot of people became sick. Mm-hmm. So I don't divert that therapists are good, because I feel whatever it is that you need, you will attract precisely that. So for those who need a therapist, that's good. For them. Yeah. So I'm not against it.
Right. Not everybody has to have it. Yeah. Right. It's not a have to have, but
you gotta understand too, it's
his experience.
That's that generation.
Well, you know what?
Because my mom is like,
and my mom.
Well, you see what I'm saying?
And my mom as well.
That was that generation. That's how they were taught to deal with.
That's how we survived.
Exactly.
Because we weren't open to going to therapists at that time. That was not something that was offered to Black people or to people of a certain income. So you had to work with what you have. Yeah. So it was about going within and finding out, because even when you look at it, not only our parents, but their parents went through much more, and they survived. So it's making that connection. It's getting on that vibe.
Therapy for them was getting a whooping.
Say what?
Therapy for our parents was getting a whooping. Don't you ever do that
with a switch.
You
but everybody wasn't that way. Everybody was raised a different. But that was the consensus of that time.
Exactly.
Is that you didn't even air things that were going on.
That was wrong with you.
Yeah,
right. Nothing was ever wrong with you.
Exactly. Well, you just didn't air. We always knew it. It's like the color purple. We always knew it. Everybody got offended about that.
Right.
We always knew that was going on, but we didn't want to face it, so we didn't talk about it. So when you don't have those elements, you have to learn to go within.
And to be honest with you, that's all therapists do.
Yeah.
It's trying to teach you how to tap into that inner spirit. So, which is the plan.
Yeah.
So you guys came full circle with that.
It really does come full circle.
Full circle with that.
You either have or you don't. So you either have, if you don't have a therapist, then you gotta learn. And sometimes people don't need the therapist because they have comprehend and kind of really understand the process within.
Yeah.
And once it's like anything, it's like having an experience. Experience says, I have a knowing. I've been there, so now I know. I can talk academically and I can have a therapist and I can have all these things, but when I have the experience, that you can't take from me. Nobody can.
I agree.
So that's like.
Well, I will tell you this. I went to therapy, and we devised a plan. And one of the things that my therapist came up with and suggested I do, which I was already kind of into it anyway, was fitness. And I know, and we established earlier that a lot of PTSD and mental issues is not just military, but I speak because I was part of that circle. Mm-hmm. So I identify with my fellow veterans. Yeah. Did I just sound kind of slow when I said that?
No. I think you wrote it up so we could
understand.
I think you were very cautious in your
which
words,
is good,
which are important because words you can't take back. You can't unhear them. So in your cautiousness.
So, but what I found out for me and my brothers in arms is that, and sisters. what I found is that a lot of us run to physical fitness.
Well,
And to me, that is my, like, I've told Morris the other day, I said, I'm addicted to fitness. Like, if I go, I get to.
I wish.
Okay.
God, I wish.
But you know what? It takes a while to get there, but you can get there.
Yeah.
It'll get to the point where you just do not feel right if you do not work out. Like, mentally,
Cheeseburger.
You're participating in it. I think it's just like Western philosophy says, you go to the doctor, I'm broke, fix me. Eastern philosophy says you participated in your illness. Therefore, you have to participate in your wellness. And that's basically what you're saying, even with the workout,
Deep,
the
huh?
exercise.
Can I tell you how I appreciate that? I've never heard it articulated
Okay.
in Western Hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere conversations. And I always, in speaking about my diagnosis, I always say, people say, "What? Do you know where you got it from?" I said, "Yeah, me. I went out and had unprotected sex."
Come
So,
on.
yeah,
Hello.
I'm the one who went out and did it to myself. I can't blame anyone for being responsible for Morris.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is Morris's body. This is
Exactly.
Morris's mind. So the decisions that came from it.
Yeah.
I wrote my mom a letter. I said, "Mama, look, everything that you taught me up to 18 was amazing. This is why I'm the greatest person now."
Did I not say that?
And so what I'm about to tell you, this is how I told her about my diagnosis. I said, "It's not your fault. I did this." And so to your point, if I am the cause of my illness,
Absolutely.
I am the cause of my healing.
Absolutely.
That thing,
Absolutely.
that helped me just
And
now.
it's so empowering.
Oh my gosh,
You just,
yeah.
So I tell you what, let's just dive into this. Let's hear your story. I've heard it a couple of many times.
Yeah. I'll tell the non-Baptist version. So
love it.
so it was Memorial Day weekend, 2006.
Oh, you painted a picture.
Okay. I want because you got to get this whole thing.
Let's
I
do
was
it.
driving.
Picture
from,
this, Sicily,
Picture it,
1929.
Atlanta, Memorial Day weekend. Actually, I was on my way into Atlanta to visit some friends who were coming from Louisville, Kentucky, and they always come down. And we had this great thing. And now, luckily, you see grab size Morris right now, grabbable me. At this point, I was not grabbable. Any food that got near me, I would throw up at the smell of it. But I had to eat because I like food, and I'm still trying to eat. But I went to get with these friends. I pulled into Atlanta. I go straight to them, and we go out to eat. And everybody orders food except for me. Everybody's like, First of all, did you eat already? Because maybe that's it. But even if you ate already, you always get food, and you still hold it. And I was visibly sick. Sick. Like, my friend said, "Morris, if you turn sideways, you disappear." That's how sick I was. I'm making light of it. But in all seriousness, a young lady, she said, "Morris," she was a very good friend of mine. She says, "Make me a promise." First of all, I don't make promises because I like to keep them. God made promises and he kept them. And so if I can't make a promise and keep it, neither will I. That's my premise on promises. I will not make a promise unless I know that I can keep it. She says, "Go get tested." For what? What you mean tested? Right? My mom had colon cancer prior to that. So I thought maybe it was colon cancer. I did not want to go through chemotherapy. I had already decided in my head that the good Lord was going to take me. It wasn't going to be through chemotherapy. Like, I'm not going to get cancer and then stay sick. No, just go ahead and take me, Lord. That was like me and God have these conversations. It ain't even prayer, it's just conversations. So long story short, I go get tested. And I'm super sick. I have close to 1 million copies of HIV in my body. I have less than 50 T cells. And so for those who are listening right now, I always have to take this thing. T cells are your fighter cells. You need at least 200 not to have AIDS. I was under 50. So I was diagnosed with AIDS.
Which is crazy because just to sorry to interrupt you, a lot of people need to understand that HIV is not AIDS.
No, it's not.
AIDS is a state of
AIDS
it.
is a state, and AIDS is a combination of less than 200 T cells and opportunistic diseases. One or two. I had a couple of them. Okay. I had cryptosporidia and giardia. I did not know how bad that was. Cryptosporidia, I had to learn how to say that word. Crypto, as I like to call it, kills people upon the first couple of weeks. I did not know this. In fact, the doctors gave me 90 days to live had I not gotten better.
Wow.
Within my first year. But I, God always has a way. And this is my spirituality, not trying to push it on anybody else. God in my life has always brought their lemons into real good ghetto lemonade. I mean, like the sweet kind, like half a bag of sugar.
Okay.
And it turns out really good. And so over that time, I went through a drug thing because in my mind, I was taking 23. Let's back up. I was taking 23 pills when I was first diagnosed. 23 pills. My day was taking pills. I'm from 23 to 17, 17 to 10, 10 to 4. When I got down to 4, I was happy, but I was not normal. I lost my job. And so I went into this tailspin, and that's where the drugs came in. Now, I'm Atlanta's kid, baby. My car tag and everything, registration, all that's good. So the drug dealers was like, oh, we can kick it with Morris because we know we can go. Like, I was that person. And so I got on drugs bad enough to where I had not lost my mind because I knew exactly what I was doing. Like, let's be very clear. I'm very cognizant of the decisions that I was making. But I was in a state of depression and I needed to die. But as a church queen, you can't kill yourself because you can't ask for forgiveness if you did.
Go straight to hell.
You go straight to hell. And I said, well, Lord, I'll just take the long way out. And that was the goal. The goal was to take the long way out. A friend of mine says, nope, you're not finna do this. You're going to go live with my mama and my grandmama in Kankakee, Illinois, where they have corn stalk that they grow, right? It's about 57 miles outside of Chicago. It was an amazing thing, but I went there, I got myself together, and now here we are with Positive to Positive. So the POZITIVE, if you're looking at dating sites, they say that's if you pause or not. So this is what my health status caught up with my mind and my body. And so that's where we are with Positive to Positive. It was a journey.
Great.
And it's still a journey. Let's be very, very clear. I would rather be here wearing my pink with y'all instead of wearing this Positive to Positive shirt. So I don't want people to know me because of HIV, but because I have it, and because I have this voice, I have to speak. I have to make sure that people do not go through what I went through.
Absolutely.
And just in case you do, let me hold your hand to help pull you out of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because to this
That's
day, it's still
That's great.
something people don't talk
That's
about
great.
and they don't want to expose their status. There's a lot of shaming with it. So
It's-
you just have to live in your truth.
It's so many things. And so part of my mission is if you're HIV negative, I want you on PrEP and PEP. What's PEP, Morris? PEP means I done had a real good weekend, and then she told me that they had HIV.
Okay.
You got 72 hours from the moment that you had intercourse to get on
Wow.
PEP. And you take this for a month, and you cannot contract HIV.
I did not know that.
Now,
That's-
if
okay.
you contract HIV, that means you had it before that experience.
Wow.
And let's
okay.
be real honest. How can we expect people to take a pill for 28 days and take medicine for 20 and you ain't using a condom every time you have sex?
Hello.
We have a lot of work to do because that is
Yes,
the
we do.
breakdown. We want
Yeah.
people to do the right
Yes,
things.
we
And
do.
yes, the science works. I got to talk to you about being a patient, how to take a pill, how to fire your doctor if you don't like your doctor or your therapist.
Yeah.
All of those things matter in your care. And so for anybody who is watching this, no matter what diagnosis you have, from diabetes to hypertension, if you don't feel comfortable enough to be honest with your doctor, then you don't have a doctor.
Absolutely.
You have somebody working on you.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be your fault after that day, after you look at this.
Absolutely.
You are responsible, as he said, for your own healing. And it comes with the work. It comes with work. I always like to encourage people who are on PEP and PrEP. Yes, you're going to be taking this medicine, but at the same time, you're going to come back in. It's not just a pill. It's a therapy. It is a plan. And what happens with this strategic plan, we're going to check your kidneys and your liver because we know how things go. And let's be real honest. Anybody who's having that kind of great sex that you want to have, because I don't yuck anybody's yum, I always know that there may be a street drug involved. Whatever that street drug is for people. And in the South, it's cocaine and it's Tina. And it's X pills. I mean, it's a number of things. I can name a list of them, and they're probably going to be celebrating tonight. Nonetheless, all I want people to do is be well informed.
Absolutely.
So, even with my people who are HIV positive, as myself, have honest sex. Honest sex
Absolutely.
because I promise you this, since I've been positive, I ain't missed out on nothing.
Hello.
They're going to do it the way they want to do it, how they want to do it, but you let people make an honest decision,
Educated
an
decision.
honest choice. And I promise you'll get much more out of it. Maybe more than what you wanted, but you'll
Absolutely.
get so much more out of it.
So I have a question for you because I take PrEP. I take Descovy, which
Thank
they
you.
first
of
came out
all,
with.
Thank you. Because you helped make the community load go down. Go ahead.
I appreciate you. So Truvada was kind of like the first version of it, and now
Yes.
there's Descovy, which is the second version. A common question that I get asked is, well, why are you taking that? It's hurting, like you had said, your isn't it your bones or your kidney or something like that? What are there still side effects to it? Because so many people feel like there is side effects. There are people think that there are side effects with taking either Truvada or Descovy, which is PrEP.
Everything you put into your body is a poison, which means it is a foreign substance. Everything your body needs to heal is inside of your body.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And so what happens is when that outside thing gets into your body, HIV gets into your body, that poison, it continues to replicate. It's smart and it's fast. That thing
Yes, it
is
is.
it's faster than the ballot counters, clearly, right?
I hate you so much.
And so I want to get to your question.
Of course.
Anything that we put into our body does some wear and some tear. Let me say it again. It does some wear, which means it's in your body, and it's some tear, which means it's going to take some things from you, although it's adding some things to you.
Adding
Yeah.
value.
Everything has side
Which
effects.
is why on PrEP, we want you in the doctor every 3 months because we're looking at your kidney functions.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I don't know how much you drink. You cute. You might have a man buy you a drink every other minute in the club, at the party.
That's not a thing anymore. Guys don't buy drinks for other guys
Okay,
anymore.
yeah, But
They
regardless, I
cheat.
don't know what your liver did prior to
Yeah.
meeting you. I don't know what your kidneys did. And so who's to say what came down from hereditary? Like, I don't know. We don't know these things yet. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're going to do some blood work and stuff, right? So what they're doing, yes. Are there side effects? Side effects in the long-term thing on your body, which is why they keep coming out with different kinds of PrEP, right? Pretty soon there's going to be an injectable PrEP, which is going to be different than what, you know what I'm saying? So there are
A one time instead of one
what
pill
it's
every day.
It's probably going to be once a month.
Okay.
They're also looking at those things so it's prevention and there's care, right? Whatever happens on the care side, prevention is really, really close. And prevention really is kind of outdoing this because, again, what we don't want, we want to end the epidemic.
Yeah.
We really want to end the epidemic. Ending the epidemic of HIV means a couple of things. Housing, it means jobs, it means education,
Okay.
not just a pill.
Absolutely.
And so we're looking at all those
Holistic
things.
approach.
But if what I have to do right now is prepare by giving a pill that someone takes once a day or a shot, then let's do it.
Yeah, but just so to set the record straight,
Yeah.
they do monitor you because it could have side effects and harmful effects on your body.
It can.
It can. So
It
they
can.
monitor you, and if they are monitoring you and you're seeing a doctor every 3 months and they're like, you're good, there is no harm in taking the pill.
There is no harm in taking a pill. I remember someone told me, well, the goal is not for you to be on PrEP your whole life. Well, if I want to be a hoe my whole life, you let me hoe.
Exactly. We'll do what you want
You
to
know
do.
what I'm saying? And that word is subjective because ho could be a very good thing as opposed to just one hoe. So I'm just saying, don't let anyone discourage you by opinions on it as well, right?
And all medication has side effects.
All of
All
them.
of it.
All of them. I remember when I went down to 4 pills a day, there was a pill that was going to cause my eyes to be yellow. Shit, now I got to deal with looking like, I'm finally down to 4 pills for 23. I was just wanting to I really wanted one pill. That's all I wanted. And so now I'm on one pill.
Yeah.
My side effect, eating. That's part of COVID as well, right? But I mean, so yes, there are side effects to everything that you put into your body.
Absolutely.
You put the wrong burrito in your body.
Facts. A lot of people are hesitant to take it because they think that there are side effects. And
I'll say this: weigh your options, right? Do you want HIV or do you want a side effect?
Exactly.
And the choice is
Which
yours.
is
Yeah.
easier.
So I have a question. There is this thing that people say I am undetectable. What the devil does that mean?
Undetectable. If I can detect that you lying, I know you lying. But if you undetectable in lying, you can lie and I'll never know. That's the simple way of saying
That was
it,
really good.
right?
Okay.
So if I can detect HIV in your body, I can give it to you. If I'm undetectable, I cannot give you HIV.
So
Now,
so with
it means I have it. Undetectable liars still lie. Here's the thing. Honest sex goes back to this. Hi, my name is Morris. I'm sexually interested in you. We've been looking at each other and we've been drinking. I want to get it in. Here's the thing, though. I have HIV and I'm undetectable. This is what I do. I'm telling you my story in the last 7 days.
Okay.
Right? He says,
Current.
that's what's up. I'm negative. Let's go. That's only part of the story. Because then when we get into bed, there's still a condom that should be used, because undetectable doesn't mean that I can give you syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and whatever else. It doesn't mean that. It means
just
I do
for
not
HIV.
transfer HIV.
Okay.
And so what we want to realize is undetectable is an amazing place to be. I am as normal. I got it's the diabetes of sex. Then HIV is the diabetes of sex. Once I'm undetectable, I can live with it as long as I take my pill every day, the right way, the right time. I'm doing well. Undetectable means I am a part of everybody's world. We can do it upside down, inside out, with the monkeys, with the horses, and the pigs.
And just to talk about the risk, they do have a statistic, and correct me if I'm wrong, that somebody who's undetectable is less likely to give someone HIV than someone who either doesn't know their status or who says that they're currently negative.
Period. Yeah. Correct. Right. And so here's the thing about getting tested, right? And back in the day, people used to go get tested and not get their results. When you go get tested, that is the beginning of control. When you find out your results, you have further control over your life than you did before you knew. Now, I don't know how many people want to be controlled. I'm an only child, so I'm used to being in control, like me and Janet, right? And so here's the thing. You have these wonderful options on living life with or without HIV, with someone who does or does not have it. You can still, if you want to have, if you want to bump uglies and you want to do it barrier free, you can do it that way. But again, it's all about the honesty, which takes a lot, right? It takes a lot. Like, let's be honest. I can say this 14 years later, and I'll never forget the first guy that tried to talk to me after I got better. I was trying to scare him with my status. People are really more educated nowadays, right? It's a self thing. Self stigma is what I suffered from. Like you talked about depression. I added the community, what I heard people say about HIV, and the church. I added them together, and that was my self-stigma, which was way worse. I ain't want nobody touching me, drinking up to me, eating up the same plate. Don't look at me, don't touch me, don't sit too close. All of that was a really big thing for me.
That's deep.
Well, Morris, I appreciate you coming out and sharing your story. Tell us a little bit more about Positive to Positive, where they can find you, where if you now I want you guys to understand this is a nonprofit organization. So those of you who want to donate and give to this wonderful, wonderful work that my dear friend Morris Singletary is doing, where can they go to find that information out?
So thank you so very much. Really, I want to thank you guys for this opportunity. So Positive to Positive, POZITIVE, the number 2, POSITIVE. Positive with a Z. It's a positive with an S. Look for me on Facebook. I do all kinds of videos. I encourage people. I am telling people about the new things that's coming down the pipeline, as well as you can donate to us. We're almost non-charitable. We this far away. I'm getting my board of directors together, but if you want to donate, www.thrivess.com/donate. And it's going to have additional comments. You put P to P. That's all you put. P to P. And donate any amount. We'll be so very glad. And we're on our way. We're doing some amazing things. We just had what's called a prep race, an amazing prep race. People went around the city of Atlanta looking for clues like the Amazing Race.
Oh, wow.
They were able to get prizes and surprises. So, yeah, that's what we're doing in Atlanta. And I want to take this national because HIV is bigger than Atlanta.
That's right. That's
Worldwide.
right.
Morris, really appreciate your candidness and the work that you're doing. I think it's very important. I think you've educated us all.
Thank you so much.
He's show educated me.
Yeah, I just think and you do it so willingly, and you just put it out there. You put your life out there. It's great. Yeah, you have my support.
Thank you guys so very much for this opportunity.
No, I really appreciate your story. I think a really big point here is go get tested, get knowledge. If, like you said, if you don't feel comfortable with your doctor, get a new one. I remember going to get tested for the first time, and he's like, "Why are you promiscuous?" And I'm like, "Next, go see a doctor and find the right one and get tested and just do your thing."
Well, that was it, folks. Morris Singletary here with Positive Positive, the mentors here, just trying to do what we do. What we
empower the world
and get you the information you need so you can't say I didn't know. So as always, being you is the best you can be. And until next time, you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Monday.